In the last video, we've used shortened string method inside of the helper, which obviously doesn't exist yet. So let's copy the name of the method, open our helper.php, let's scroll down to the bottom, and before the last closing curly brace, let's create a new public static function called shortened string. And now the first parameter will be our string, and the second one will be the length to which we want to shorten the string. So len variable, we will assign the default value of 150, so it will be optional parameter. Okay, first of all, we check if string len, which is a string length of our string, is more than the length defined as second parameter. If it is, then we will make sure that it's shorter, else we will simply add 3 dots to it, to the string itself. So string dot equals, which means basically concatenate the string with whatever we're going to put after that. So it's going to be ampersand helip, which is the HTML representation of the XHTML representation of the 3 dots. Okay, and then obviously right at the end, let's simply return our string. Okay, so if the string is longer than 150 characters, then first of all, string equals trim, and inside of the trim function, trim basically removes any white spaces from the end of the string. Now we substring function, which basically takes the first parameter, the string, then where from do we want to start, and how much do you want to return. So len. So basically we want our string starting from a first character, which is 0 point basically. So first let's say if we use school, then obviously s is going to be our 0 index, and as much as 150 characters. So cut it to 150 characters basically. After that, we're going to create another string variable, basically replacing the previous one. And again, we use substring function, again using string, which is obviously now 150 characters long. Again, it's 0 point. And how many characters do we want to? How far do we want to go? Now we use function called string rpos. Basically, what it is, it returns the numerical position of the last occurrence of the defined character. Now we use the string, obviously shortened already to down to 150 characters. So a string here, and then what we're looking for is a space, because we don't want the word, let's say if our last word was, let's say, school, we don't want this to be school and 3 dots. We want this to be the whole word. So we don't want obviously the words to be cut in halfway through basically. Okay, and after this we also add our helip, which is 3 dots. So after all this, dot to concatenate, and our 3 dots. And that's everything in this function. That should now work just fine. We obviously can't test it as yet, because we haven't got any products inside of our products table. If we click on browse, you can see it's empty. So if I give you time now to add a few products, obviously how do you add products? Basically, if you go to the insert tab inside of the products table, put some name, some description, price you want the product to actually cost, and then some date, just pick the date basically. Category, we have 3 categories, assign it to whichever category you want, and put the name of the image. Remember, name of the image shouldn't have any spaces. So if you have, let's say, something a little bit more sensible, let's say new book.jpg, you cannot do like that. Rename the file to have a hyphen or underscore. These are the usual characters to replace the spaces, but make sure there aren't any spaces there. And obviously then when you add this record, make sure that this file is inside of the path. If we open the catalog, you remember our path to the catalog images is media, catalog. So you go to media, catalog, and put these images directly into the catalog folder. So I'll give you some time. I'm going to do my homework as well. And we continue next video with the products already added to the database.